So in our first tech talk, we'll be seeing a live demo of two compact PTZ cams from OBSBOT, one of which, the Tail Air, was reviewed recently in streamingmedia.com by Anthony Barocas. Should be a link for that in the chat also. Um, and I'd like to bring to the stage Ryan Brenneman, CTO Mobile Video Devices, who'll be doing a live demo of the Tail Air and the Tiny 2. Welcome, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. We're super excited about this and the opportunity to present the Tail Air and the Tiny 2 to a new audience, maybe, of a camera that was recently announced. So we certainly appreciate the chance to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see it. So why don't you, just jump right in?
Well, let's dive right into the presentation then, shall we? So on our screen here, we'll see the look and of the Tail Air as well as the Tiny 2. We're going to first talk about the Tail Air today. We'll go through some feature sets that it has and some use cases, and then we'll do a live demonstration. And then we'll begin to talk about the Tiny 2 towards the tail end. And of course, answer any questions, pun intended. As you can see, they're very compact cameras, and not everyone might be familiar with who OBSBOT is. And so it's important to know that it was founded in 2016. It is a division and a brand of Remo Technologies, and their core focus is AI videography. They have a number of different patents, including over up to 100 patents that are pending. And who is MVD? Well, MVD is the North American distributor for select OBSBOT products, including the Tail Air and Tiny 2. So there is a deep and rich history of this camera technology with a focus in AI, as we'll see throughout these demonstrations. Leading into the Tail Air, it's outstanding video performance. You're going to have features of 4K 30 and 1080 60. And one of the things that I like to highlight a lot is it's not just the sensor, and there's a fantastic sensor behind this, but it's also the 8-inch or the 8-piece lens system. A lot of people talk about it. It's the glass that sits in front of the sensor that can really help things. Of course, the camera features things like HDR and AI image enhancement, where it can automatically adjust exposure for the face as well as the background. It also has laser focus with time of flight technology, which provides a very rapid and very accurate focus for the face or other objects that you can tap to select. And then, of course, with a 1.8-inch ultra sensitive CMOS sensor, it has fantastic low light performance, which gives you a little bit better detail. And it also reduces the noise that's in the image. And as I mentioned, with Remo focusing a lot on the AI part of this, it has fantastic AI auto tracking, not just for people, but also other objects and animals. So if you're an animal lover, this is a great camera to follow your dog around the living room or outside as you're doing demonstrations, say for maybe dog training or horses, if you're doing that type of stuff in an arena. The other thing for AI is its director grids. We'll see a little bit of this, but when you have multiple people in a frame, it'll automatically select those frames out and you can tap between them. And then gesture control. So with this, I can do hand gestures. You can turn them on and off, and that will enable or disable tracking, recording, or even zooming in dynamically on a subject. So, along with that comes a lot of connectivity. So, Tail Air is prime and suited to feed into other production systems, as we're seeing here. We have Tail Air in this demonstration feeding into a Director Mini as well as vMix. And so it does that because it has a lot of different I/O for it. So, first up is the wired AV interfaces. It features a micro HDMI as well as USB interfaces to serve as a webcam. It also supports NDI HX3, which is great for feeding into Director Mini. And then it has wireless and wired networking. There's even accessories such as this USB-C to Ethernet that provides power that's available for this. And how we have this camera run in our studio today is over that Ethernet adapter with PoE support. Of course, there's a comprehensive SDK, and I'm going to tease something that is not many people have seen, but something that the team at Magewell and OBSBOT have been working on together. Of course, it's versatile in streaming, so it can stream to destinations through the app, and we'll go over that in just a few workflows here. But it's a really natural process to be able to do these type of productions. It can record locally through an SD card slot, and you can select the card size that you want to do. And then, of course, it features a built-in battery. So with this, here's a diagram of how this could be laid out in a really compact multi-cam production. And when I say compact, I truly do mean this. I'll hold up the camera, and this is an iPhone 14. And so very, very small package with the built-in battery to be able to do this. But as you can see here, the camera can be connected in a number of different ways into video switchers or external monitors. It can go through your router. You can access this camera through the mobile app for streaming via RTMP, destinations like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, or others. And then, of course, you can even plug in a microphone. So it has a 3.5 millimeter jack, so you can insert a small shotgun mic, or maybe just like a DJI mic with a little lapel. So a lot of versatility. And then, of course, it also has the optional remote control that's available for these devices. And so I can have all of my cameras up on here, recalling scene presets and moving the PTZ of the camera around. Now, not everything I can show in the studio for performance in low light. So I have a video that I would like to watch with you, and then we're going to go into a live demo. So about 2 minutes for the video here.
Still struggling with messy devices for live streaming? Introducing the OBSBOT Tail Air. Portable and can be placed at any place you want. Capture every moment up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. Use gesture control to activate AI auto tracking feature. With the activated AI tracking feature, the camera would keep following you, your cute pet, and even an object. Now, let's go beyond and see more amazing features. Wirelessly control, monitor, and stream your live shows. Enter the amazing AI Director grids, constituted by several visible grids, so you can see the different views of your live scene. Click the grid you need to put it on air accordingly. Let's dive into the deeper usage of OBSBOT Tail Air. Multi-set up your tail air at different angles. Then you can activate the dazzling and efficient NDI connection. You'll be able to have an incredible live stream experience even at long distance. Supervise the video image in real time in low latency. You won't miss any dazzling movements with Tail Air's multicam solution. Activate AI auto tracking feature to take a closer look and keep following the target. With a specially designed smart remote, you can wirelessly control and switch the PTZ and switch among Tail Air. The low-light shooting of Tail Air stepped into next level by the enlarged pixel size, and the image could be clearer and less noise. OBSBOT Tail Air support various connections, which makes it a powerful device to join your live stream workflow seamlessly. Get yourself ready with OBSBOT Tail Air and mastermind your every moment right on air.
Created by OBSBOT.
That video obviously highlights a number of different things that we couldn't obviously show for the low light performance and some of the other tracking. I can't skateboard around my office. No one wants to see that, and I certainly don't want to get hurt. So let's talk about some of the other things of ways to control this. And we're diving into the Tail Air now through a Windows application. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up on screen here real quick. Let's just cut over to this real fast. There we go. So this is on the Windows computer, And this is OBSBOT Center. So OBSBOT Center is great because it controls a lot of the different devices. So you'll see up here in the upper part, I can select the number of different cameras that are active and on my network, but also the Tiny 2 that is being used for this recording and broadcast right now. Well, within this OBSBOT Center is a number of different settings that we can enable. So we can move the camera around for the gimbal, we can set animal tracking, we can make adjustments to the images, so we can dial things in exactly how we want them with anti-flicker or white balance. But then here's some of the AI modes that we've touched on. So we can actually do a little bit of the retouch or the background blur directly within the camera and make those manual settings. And then of course, there's always more things. So we can enable things like the UVC mode. Currently, I'm enabled on the NDI mode, and NDI is activated on the camera, but I can set things like recording, and some other parameters such as this gesture control. I can turn things on or off, so that I can prevent people from accidentally stopping the recording if they confuse which gesture that they're going to use. And then I can make other adjustments like noise reduction for an external microphone. So a lot of different settings from within this camera. I'm able to do things like power it on or off, put it into sleep mode. And I'll just mention that if we come down here to like the Tiny 2, this webcam that I'm on right now, we're able to then make adjustments here as well. So based upon the camera that you're using, it will automatically adjust the center. And this is an app that's available for both Windows and as well as for Mac. So the other thing that I would like to do is I want to show you a live demonstration of the camera. So I'm going to cut to the shot here in my lab right now. And this is the live view. And I want to show you this first because of the image quality that you'll see. But then I also want to bring up the OBSBOT Start app. And so this is a wireless view from my iPad with the app coming back into the PC. So you will notice a reduced image quality here, but let's walk over here into the studio. So this is a live view of what's happening. Here's the app as I'm seeing it. The first thing that you'll notice is there's a red dotted box, and that is the live view that will be output from the camera. On the left-hand side, we have a number of different settings. One of the first ones that you'll see is this grid view with AI features. And so right now, you'll see that the face shot in the lower left-hand corner is automatically going to track with me, as well as the upper right corner is automatically going to track as well. Now, I'm selected in the upper left box, but it'd be very easy for me to select different presets as well. As you'll see, if I tap here, it will come over to this view. And if I tap in, you're going to see this actually bounces over to the other side. So all the while, the AI is tracking my face for this. So this is that multi-view. We also have the ability to select manual settings in terms of the ISO, shutter speed, and some exposure control where that can go to automatic. And then, of course, we have a number of different menu options that are available here to be able to enable or disable things. So we mentioned about gesture control. So very easy for me to just raise my hand here, and you can see that it is automatically tracked onto me. And now as I move, the camera will follow exactly where I'm headed. So very simple way to be able to do tracking through this. You can set different parameters. You'll see the menu that has just come up on the screen, and I can kind of set, do I want that to track me, and how fast I want that to track me. Now I can bounce out of the tracking here, and I can activate tracking actually by just drawing a box around an object. So I've drawn a box around me, and now again, this is going to track the object. We can set the speed that this is going to track as it moves me around here. And so again, we can come out of there. At the bottom, you also see where you have P1, P2, and P3. And I think this is really cool. So right at my chin right now, you should see a ghosted over P1. And that lets you know where the P1 set for that camera recall is. And if I click P2, you'll see that it moves over. And then finally, if I click 3, you'll actually see where the red box has tightened up. And that's a very close-up shot of this OBSBOT camera on the wall. And so the output is a cropped-in view, and that's where you see that red box changing to both zoom in and zoom out. There's some other cool features, such as pinch to zoom, so you can see this zooming in and then back out from here. So this is the app. This is OBSBOT Start. It's available for your phone, and it's also available for the iPad, as you see here. When I want to go out to control another camera, I just go back to home, and then I'm able to also do things like in the lower right to trigger recording and whatnot. So let's, I'm going to come back over here to the desk here, and we can talk about some other things that are going off on the device. As I mentioned, let me bring up a view here of Director Mini. So there's a number of different ways to control this, and super excited that you're going to get a preview of something that not many people have seen. So here is a screen view of Director Mini, and you can see that the tail air is coming into this device. And now for control of this camera, you're going to see that we've set P1, P2, and P3 respectively, as this will zoom in on that other camera. But what you're also then seeing at the bottom, and we'll zoom out so you can get a better look of this, is the human tracking mode that's going to be enabled. So this is an early beta preview. The teams have worked really hard, and eventually this will be coming through a firmware update where you can trigger all these AI features right from Director Mini, which is really fantastic. In addition, the teams have gone a step further, and on the right-hand side, this is the Magewell Director utility. They've also put it inside of this PTZ control for the app as well. So just a fantastic job that they've done to incorporate these wonderful features that OBSBOT has made. There's an SDK available for it, and both teams kind of collab together to make the best of both things here. So with that, and looking at the time, I want to quickly just go into the Tiny 2, and I don't want to take anything away from the Tiny 2 because it is the camera I'm using now. We've had numerous comments before about the image quality of this camera, so that's what I'm using. The Tiny 2 features a 1.5-inch CMOS sensor. It is calibrated to deliver really sharp detail for it. It does feature the autofocus technology and dual native ISO. It also has very powerful AI features, not for gesture control, but also for voice control, which is really fantastic to be able to just speak to this camera, put it to sleep, wake it back up for tracking, in addition to the other gesture controls that we've shown, kind of similar to the Tail Air. So the other thing that this has, and you've seen in the image settings for the Windows app, is the ability to have this beauty mode for the background blur. But something that I really love is this desk mode. Desk mode is so powerful because the camera automatically rotates, crops, and as you're writing on a surface, it looks like you're writing on a whiteboard. Of course, there's a comprehensive SDK, and of course, as a USB cam, really easy integration into things like vMix. You can even bring this in over USB to Director Mini as well. So a lot of stuff happening, and I know that I'm about at the time that we've kind of set aside for this demonstration.
Oh, that was great, Ryan. Yeah, thanks so much. Actually, I just got a text from my marketing director who said, I hope the video team from my church is watching this because it's just it's so clear how these things could be used and the opportunity. And we got some questions from the audience that I want to just get right into in the time that we have. Beth Rosen asks, can you use that not for live streaming, but also just for recording? And if so, how much storage is available?
Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on the SD card that you put into it. So it would easily accept a 128 or 256 card.
Okay, great. And then Mecca Harris asks, I'm not quite sure what this question means, but I'm hoping you do it.
I think he's talking about the beta feature that I showed with
Oh yeah,
Director Mini.
right.
The team is not fully done with it yet. We've demoed it at ISE, so I wasn't doing anything crazy by showing here. We did show it off a little bit at ISE, but it is coming down the pike. So just something that we could give you a little bonus extra of.
Okay, great. And then Clay Lambert asks, is there an ability to slave 2 or more cameras to the same view, or rather the ability to have multiple cameras working in concert with each other, say a 3-cam shoot during a conference?
Yeah, so it's one of the things that I love about Tail Air. And I think that the hidden feature of this with the Director Mini is such a small, compact kit that you're able to deploy very quickly and easily, either over a wireless network with NDI HX or with a wired network. So very small PoE switch, 3 cameras and a Director Mini, and you're off and running. I mean, the size of the cameras is just insane. The quality and the features that are packed inside of that thing for the size of it.
Okay, and just one question that I had. I think what a lot of people be interested in these is with auto tracking capabilities. And could you just kind of break down kind of are the auto tracking capabilities the same on the Tail Air and the Tiny 2, or is there a difference?
Well, there's some slight differences. At the core, they're very similar in that you can select objects for the tracking or some of the algorithms. They are obviously enhanced with the newer camera being the Tail Air, but the Tail Air also features the ability to track an animal. And so for those dog lovers out there, the animal tracking, and I will show you here. Right here is a dog on a beach being tracked with the AI. So this is something that's super fun for all those animal lovers.
Cool. Yeah. Um, yeah, and just I'm sorry if you covered that. Oh, actually, let me just always rather take audience questions than mine. But
Yeah,
Beth
yeah.
asks, can it differentiate from the green trees and a green suit for tracking?
Well, I have another video here. This is a real live demo of it tracking a woman who's walking around through trees. I mean, this is the closest thing that I have on the fly to give you a demo of, but this is following her in what would otherwise be a very challenging situation.
Cool.
Way to get me going with the video mixing skills on the fly using USB Fusion to trigger these things off in Telestrate. So great job.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Ryan. This has been great. And
Thanks again for having me.
yeah, yeah, and there's a bunch of links in the chat to not just to the information about the OBSBOTs, and also a link to Ryan's slides. So a couple of people were asking about that. So yeah, you'll be able to download those. So yeah, thanks, Ryan.